The other day I was having a conversation with a friend of mine and he says, God, it's been a few days since I heard from Elon Musk. Where is Elon Musk? Well, that is a very good question. Trust me, he's still out there lurking, the little crazy, the craziest, richest guy in the world is still doing his fuckery in the government. He's just not making as much noise as he used to, or he has been in the past. But I'm sure that more things will start popping out. Well, here's a couple for you. I got a couple of little stories that I'd like to group together for Elon Musk. One of them is Elon Musk has been, and this story has kind of gone under the radar a little bit, and I think it is very important to be talking about it. Let me give you a little preamble. Recently, Donald Trump fired the Librarian of Congress. So the Library of Congress, which has, I don't know, like 160 million items, that has been cataloged. It's the biggest, most, in-depth library that our nation has. And, anytime you copyright something, it goes through the Copyright Office, which is a subsidiary of the Library of Congress. And recently, Donald Trump fired the Librarian of Congress. Her name is Carla Hayden. Carla Hayden was the first black Librarian of Congress. Up until this point, they've all been old white guys. Old white guys in leadership in America? Go figure. Anyway, he also fired the head of the Copyright Register. Her name is Shira Perlmutter. And this is interesting because Shira Perlmutter just released a 3-part report in regards to intellectual property and how it is being used to train AI models. What Elon and a lot of these, whether it's ChatGPT, whether it's Grok, whether it's, all the other AI innovations out there, what they're doing is they are using existing data that, or just existing art, existing literature, just existing, anything that has been on the internet. They are scraping that data and they're using it to train their AI to learn how to do certain kinds of art or certain kinds of literature. I mean, it's one of the things that Hollywood was stressed out about during the strike, was it in 2023, was that Hollywood wanted to use AI to start writing scripts. So they were going to go through all, their AI would learn from all existing scripts from the past and be able to generate new stories out of that in different variations, which, by the way, just sounds like more of the same bullshit, which is one of the reasons why I'm not really a big fan of movies and television, because it's kind of all the same. I'm not going to say that there's not good quality entertainment out there and there's not good quality movies and television out there, but when you are allowing AI to starting to dictate what is art, you're kind of losing, art for the artist's sake. And this is just a little side thing. If this is the kind of thing that perpetuates over the years with AI, is AI just learning from recent and past artists of painting and sculpting and music and literature, or is it going to be continuously learning not just from actual stuff that was created by human beings, but also the stuff that was created by AI in the past? So if we're 10 years down the road, is the new AI, that's if it's still around, but is the new AI learning not just from old, old existing real things, but also from the AI creations, which it just kind of seems like it's a homogeny of real and fake. How much real, how much fake? It's getting more and more fake. It's like, I heard a story recently about Grok, that Elon and the boys over at Twitter were trying to train out logic out of Grok and try to get it to learn that things that are not true to be true. And Grok was asked this question: have people been trying to manipulate your learning capabilities? And Grok actually answers it and said, yeah, Elon is trying to train me to learn the wrong answers and spit out the wrong answers, and they were unsuccessful. So, I mean, your AI model doesn't believe in your bullshit and your alternative facts. I just find that kind of funny. But so they fired Shira Perlmutter because of this report that these AI companies are scraping data and not paying for it. And these are things that you, as a creator, as an artist, have worked really hard to make. You wrote a book. You did a painting. You wrote a song, and they are using this. They're using your data to train their AI, and you're not getting compensated for that. You're not getting a dime from that. And that was one of Perlmutter's issues: is that there should be some recompense. There should be something, some kind of recourse that you, as an artist, can take for having your art used to train the AI model for free. I mean, this is one of the reasons why they are gravitating towards this kind of thing, is because they are using something that would normally, you would have to pay for. They're getting it for free. I mean, that just sounds like America. I'll just steal an idea from somebody else and pass it off as my own. But this is intellectual property rights, laws that they are flouting in our face. And, Elon and, and all the other tech bros out there are really trying to, manipulate the system for their own ends. And it's one of the reasons why somebody like Perlmutter, who would stand in the way of getting these, these new laws in, in AI's favor, getting them, pushed out of the way so they can move forward. I mean, Elon recently said something like, it wasn't that long ago, just like maybe a couple of weeks ago, he said that we should get rid of intellectual property laws. I mean, that's fucking rich coming from the guy who never created anything. He bought onto PayPal. He bought onto Twitter. He bought onto Tesla. Everybody that works at SpaceX used to work for NASA. I mean, the only thing that he has created is a blowtorch in the Boring Company, and he wants to put chips in everybody's head. That sounds like a great idea. I want everybody in America or everybody in the world to have a chip in the back of their head so they can log on to what? Twitter more easily? Jesus Christ, man. We're so fucking cooked. We're so cooked. Anyway, another little thing about Elon that has popped up, which I find kind of interesting. There is about $800 million worth of Cybertrucks that they can't sell. In Europe, they're down 90% of Tesla sales, and nobody wants to buy the damn Cybertruck. I mean, personally, just past the aesthetics of it all, I mean, it looks like a PlayStation 1 graphic, for God's sakes. It looks really old school. The first time I saw it, I looked at it and I said it looks like the car representation of the very first Lara Croft game where she had the really pointy boobs. That's what this car looks like. It just looks like Lara Croft's pointy tits. And, so the aesthetics aside, And the fact that, panels fall off of the thing, the accelerator pedal sticks. When you step on it the right way, it'll get stuck up underneath and you can't stop the car, you know. And it's basically a refrigerator on wheels. So if you get hit with it, you're dead. You're just dead. I mean, shit, it'll chop off your finger if you don't watch it the right way because it's all hard metal edges everywhere. Door jambs and the front trunk, if you leave your finger there, just chop it off. So they're not really awesome vehicles. And there was a guy, I think his name is Whistling Diesel. He did a car review with a Cybertruck versus a Ford F-150. And the Cybertruck could not do any truck stuff. There's a reason why they call it the swastika car. I mean, other than the fact that Elon Musk was throwing Sig Heils at the inauguration, and he has got a lot of sympathy for, extremely right-wing, fascy kind of people on Twitter. The car itself is not a very good car. It falls apart. It does not do the things that trucks are supposed to do. The only thing it has is a couple of really powerful motors that make it go really fast. So you have a very fast refrigerator. Anyway, $800 million worth of Tesla trucks, Cybertrucks, that are not getting sold. And that's like, I don't know, something like 10, 12,000 Cybertrucks that they just are sitting on that they just can't get rid of. And there was also, I don't know if you guys remember this, but it was a couple of months back in Canada when electric cars are being sold, they have like this incentive where you get like $6,000-$7,000 credit because you're buying an electric vehicle. And the Canadian, I don't know if it was the dealership or the people that were above the dealership, but in a 2-day period, they managed to sell like 8,000 Teslas in just 2 days. It's unheard of to have that many sales in 2 days. It's unheard of to have that many sales in 2 months in that particular dealership. But that dealership managed to push, I think it was like a combination of 2 or 3 dealerships, but 2 or 3 dealerships in one particular district in Canada managed to sell over 8,000 trucks in less than 48 hours. And the speculation and the investigation that is ongoing right now is that they were doing it so they could manage to get it in under the wire so they could get that $7,000 tax credit for selling of an EV. So that's, that's being investigated as we speak. And Canada, they're not quite as cucked to Elon Musk as we are here in America. But anyway, I just find to get a little bit of joy out of life by watching one of the most hated individuals in America suffer just a little bit. I mean, he ain't gonna suffer too goddamn much. He is still the richest man on the planet. But if it's making him feel a little bit tight for cutting child cancer research and cutting USAID, where millions of people of Africa are going to die from AIDS because they're not getting AIDS medication anymore, or, cutting into Social Security and making sure that old people can't make a phone call into the Social Security office to find out where their check is going, or shutting down Social Security offices, or, all of the other cuts that he's made. And meanwhile, I think he's got like, I don't know, $35 billion worth of government military contracts. And he's going to get more money, from the deal that he made with the FAA to get rid of their Verizon internet deal to go with Starlink. So Elon Musk might be losing money at Tesla, which I think is a good thing. Honestly, the board itself in Tesla should just ask him to step down because he is not doing their brand any good. And ironically enough, most of the people on the board at Tesla are all handpicked by Elon Musk. And a lot of them are floating the idea that he needs to go. So even people that are up his ass are like, dude, man, you're fucking shit up. So But even though he is in pain in the Tesla department, he's still getting copious amounts of cash from the government. While they cut our social safety net, the richest man in the world is making fucking bank off of our social program. So anyway, fuck Elon Musk. Seriously, fuck him. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.